Lagos State, a city that never sleeps. Home to over 22 million people, the state is Nigeria's economic hub and Africa's fifth largest economy. Its commercial nature goes way back to the pre-colonial era. But it's the year 2017. Let's find out more about the state's commerce and industry. I'm Onyi Sunday, and this is Destination Lagos. While it was known as one of the slave coasts in West Africa in the 1800s, Lagos State today is known as Nigeria's economic pillar, accounting for 60% of industrial and commercial activities in Nigeria and generating 75% of its revenue. But really, what is it about Lagos State?
Lagos State has that captivating and gravitational pull in terms of, peace, economic prosperity, infrastructural development, and the geographical status of the states being an ocean-bound state. And with the dynamics of demography, Lagos State has become something that is alluring to prospective investors, both locally and internationally. And because of the geographical status of the state, it has also become a melting point for both local and international visitors.
I think Lagos has a natural advantage of being a port city. And all over the world, port cities have that peculiar advantage because of the traffic of cargo, of goods that come in and out of the country. So that naturally positions Lagos as a nerve, as a commercial nerve center. But on top of that, over the years, the government of Lagos State have also done quite a lot to make Lagos a major destination for investors.
From about a GDP of $136 billion now, we are looking that in the next couple of years, decade, we should be able to offshoot the $200 million mark. And by that, we'll be a very competitive global player.
The state might hit that mark in the near future. With a couple of projects underway, the government aims to achieve two major goals: providing jobs for its increasing number of youths and boost the state's revenue. One of such projects is the Lekki Free Trade Zone. The Lekki Free Zone will have 4 areas covering 16,347 hectares of land designed to produce non-oil exports.
In the Southwest Quadrant, we have a partnership with the Chinese consortium. The company is called China Africa Lekki Investment Limited, Lekki, which is in partnership with the Lagos State government. The partnership is 60 to the Khalil investors and 40% to Lagos State. So they are the majority shareholders.
Lekki Free Zone is the biggest free zone in Africa. For Lekki Free Zone, it has been divided for 4 phases. Now we are working on phase 1, because phase 1 is occupying 30 square kilometers, which is the place for the cooperation between Chinese government and the Nigerian government. So we call this the economic cooperation project between China and then Nigeria. We designed this place into a harbor city. So actually it is an urban design as a harbor city. There will be a satellite city for Lagos in the future when it is built. According to the design, when it is built, it will have about 120,000 people permanently living here. And also will employ more than 30,000 people working here for the investors.
According to the Lekki Free Zone Development Company's managing director, the aim is to raise industry standards in Lagos State.
As you know, let's say about 35 years ago, in China we are also very poor, but we welcome the foreign investors to come to China to establish their enterprises. We opened our door to all the people in the world.
A great deal of what you need resource-wide would be sourced from foreign companies, right, who have the know-how and the experience. And to a large extent, we try to make sure that there are training opportunities for Nigerians, and even where we have opportunities that Nigerians cannot fully fit, we have a database and we have a protocol that actually flags up those opportunities, and we try to find local people, get them trained. There are investors here, for example, that are in a process of taking local people abroad, right, for training, and they bring them back.
Infrastructure at the Lekki Free Zone was developed 3 years ago, and over 100 companies have registered to operate at the zone, with 47 already operating within the area. So far, the zone, which is a partnership between the Lagos State government and a Chinese consortium, has attracted over $15 billion in investment.
Almost every partner that we have here developing, taking part in the development of the free trade zone, Lekki Worldwide Investment has an equity participation. So whatever any developer is doing here, you can be sure that either at the board level or at the management level, we are actually represented.
It's an economic concept, that comes with boundless opportunities to both local and foreign investors. It is to propel growth within, most especially within those sectors those areas where they're established, and ensure that local and foreign industrialists, who are manufacturers, do their businesses with little or no bureaucratic controls.
Split into 4 quadrants, one part of it has been developed with the necessary infrastructure required to facilitate manufacturing and trade.
In Lekki Free Zone, we provide very good infrastructure. Power, clean water, good security, and so on. Fire brigades, everything. How can an enterprise to establish all these facilities by themselves? How much money they will spend? But in Lekki Free Zone, we provide all the necessary infrastructure and facilities. So you can see we have built already the police station. We have built already the customs processing center. We are now building this commercial complex to provide the place for 2 banks, one international bank, one local bank, and we'll provide the place for the supermarket, for coffee shop, and also the tower is for the office use, for the investors. So when you come to Lekki Free Zone, you will leave everything to Lekki Free Zone Development Company, except the production and the market.
The area also hosts the Dangote refinery that will accommodate a petrochemical plant, fertilizer and gas plant. The refinery is designed to be the largest single-streamed refinery in the world. When completed, it's expected to refine 650,000 barrels of crude per day. With a 5 mooring point capacity, the refinery will be able to lift crude from vessels 20 kilometers from the shore and send finished products to the waiting vessel. It currently employs over 2,000 permanent workers and 60,000 contract staff. When this refinery is completed, it has the capacity to generate job opportunities for over 100,000 people. The petrochemical refinery is estimated to be completed in 2019. Meanwhile, urea and ammonia fertilizer plants situated on 500 hectares of land are under construction. The plants will produce 3 million tons of fertilizer annually with a daily output of 8,000 tons. This $2 billion project is set to be the biggest fertilizer plant in Africa and second largest in the world. With the design, engineering and procurement completed, construction is ongoing. Currently employing 5,000 construction workers and 800 permanent staff, it has created indirect employment for 5,000 people. Danish catalysis company Haldor Topsoe has granted the company license for the ammonia plant, and Saipem Italy has issued a license for the urea plant.
When we have industrialization, basically the first thing that it will be impacted upon is job creation, because all of those industries will have, labor force that will work for them. And we already have an MOU that they must draw largely from the state, for their, employment size. And when you start engaging people, you are enhancing their purchasing power.
The Lekki Free Trade Zone is an export processing zone. Lagos State's only seaport, Apapa, is at the other end of the state, 74 kilometers apart. Owing to the congested road traffic in Lagos, it could feel further. To shorten time travel, a deep-sea port is under construction within the Free Trade Zone.
The total length of the initial quay wall will be 1.5 kilometers, or 1,500 meters, with 3 big container berths and also space for some other developments. It's not yet detailed. We'll start with a container terminal, but there will also be opportunities for liquid bulk and some general cargo and dry bulk opportunities as well.
With economic activities ongoing at this axis of Lagos and the potential increase in the next few months, the Lekki axis is set to be the new Lagos. With a manufacturing and export free trade zone, a seaport and the planned construction of a Lekki-Epe International Airport within this axis, Lekki could become the new Lagos. There are those who fear the free trade zone may not be affordable for SMEs looking to manufacture and trade within the zone. Nice. Lovely. Well, after the break, we'll find out more about the Lagos we all know and what's to become of SMEs in Nigeria's commercial capital. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Destination Lagos. And this episode focuses on commerce and industry in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos State. Now, Lagos is known for its hustle and bustle. A fast-paced city, everyone is on the move. The drive to make ends meet is not taken for granted here. Like most residents say, in Lagos State, the hustle is real.
According to the Small Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, MSMEs contribute 47% of the country's gross domestic product and create more than half of all the jobs in Nigeria. Out of the 37 million MSMEs in the country, 36.9 million are micro and small enterprises, while over 17 million of MSMEs operate in Lagos State, according to the Lagos State government. Most of them operate from their homes, manufacturing and selling to their immediate communities. To ensure these MSMEs operate at maximum capacity and not just at subsistence level, the state set up a technology incubation center to groom and aid manufacturing by MSMEs.
We provide a level playing ground where entrepreneurs can come together and explore the idea. And the concept of the incubation center is also a concept that is achieved, that was already done in other developed countries. They've used that concept to develop their economy. And that's why it was brought to Nigeria by UNDP with the federal government. And what we do is to create a risk-free environment, is to create an environment where you can do business with ease, an environment where you can get information and knowledge about your business. So if you have an idea that can go to market, when you come to the incubation center, we listen to that your idea, we look at the stage where you are, we look at what you have not done, and now we can assist you. We offer training, we offer mentoring, we offer counseling, and we also do coaching. More importantly, we also help to get some certification, like NAFDAC, like SOM. We have, in this year alone, helped over 250 SMEs to get NAFDAC registration number at even a discounted price, 50% discount, and then the time frame is shortened. And this has really helped the incubation program.
The MSMEs are mentored for 3 years and allowed to operate in this conducive business environment during this time. The aim is to discourage MSMEs from operating from home.
We tell them, come to TIC Lagos, where we have a controlled environment, and then we can assist you. Come and be producing, come manufacturing at the incubation center, and we guide you through the journey. And within this period, we do what we call serious monitoring and evaluation of your activity. We teach them a simple thing, like you must pay yourself a salary, you are a staff in your company, and then you don't eat your seed. And then one of the important tools is their business plan. We help them to write their business plan by themselves, because usually they contract a professional who writes for them, and they don't follow it. And the business plan is supposed to be your journey in the next 3 years. So if you don't know the journey, of course, you will drop at one spot or the other, which is very, very wrong. We have discovered that this has affected many SMEs. Before they are 5 years, they fizzle away.
Through the incubation center, these manufacturers get linked to markets. Tale Ogundipe is a manufacturer at the incubation center. She processes and packages ingredients for melon soup. She's turning the downsides of the Lagos hustle to her advantage. For the busy Lagos worker who cannot prepare a traditional meal after a long day, Tale is ensuring they don't go to bed hungry.
At this center, there are many people, different people with different ideas. Many times we come together and we network. Also, because we are in this establishment, we are shielded from a lot of external forces, things that, like I said, when the baby is in the incubator, the baby is protected from so many things, diseases, and, so we are shielded from a lot of things, and it gives us time to stabilize. Really, this place is just to help you to stabilize, and then you are to stay here for a while and then go out with, all well made and well ready.
Chidi Ike is a winemaker, manufacturing alcoholic and non-alcoholic wines. The incubation center has made a world of difference in his business.
I found out this is the best place to start with. And since we've been here, I've seen the result. There's tremendous result. We are even exposed to in other markets. We have trainings in so many areas, in IT, in marketing, so many things they are doing that at the end of the day, once you are out of here, you become, a successful entrepreneur.
The state plans to replicate this incubation center in local governments across the state. To ensure these entrepreneurs succeed, the state has set up enterprise zones across the state to accommodate them.
Historically, before we ran into the problem that was occasioned by the structural adjustment program and all of that, we had a very robust industrial estates in Lagos. We have quite a number of them. We had the Ikeja Industrial Estate, we have the Ogba, we have the Lupeju Industrial Estate, among others. And they were doing very well. But because of some macroeconomic challenges, which of course we cannot attribute to the state, because these are national issues, quite a number of those industries went down. But in terms of the intervention of the state government, of course there has been some investment in the area of the development of industrial estates for the small and medium enterprises in particular.
As we speak, we have a number of industrial estates. We have the small-scale industrial estates, about 4 of them, scattered around the state. We have one in Yaba, Maturi, 2 in Maturi, and 1 at Isolo. Then, as we speak, we are developing what we call a light industrial park at Imota. Then beyond that, we have 3 enterprise zones across the state also. Perhaps I should just define a bit, what these facilities are meant to serve. For the small-scale industrial estates, we have small industrialists who are applying their trades there. The state government has provided the factory units. So it's just a matter of plug and play. They get in there, they bring in their equipment, and they start production. And the same thing is also going to be done for the light industrial park that we are developing at Imota.
Recognizing the importance of MSMEs, the state government, through the State Employment Trust Fund, has in the last 1 year approved and disbursed 4.5 billion naira, an intervention fund to 5,527 medium-small manufacturing enterprises. To further promote commerce and industry, the state organizes exclusive fairs to showcase the businesses. The 4-day fair matches the local small-scale industrial giants with business development support providers, investors from the private sector, public regulatory support agencies at the state and federal government levels, as well as foreign economic development institutions.
They are basically MSME, basically made in Lagos products, and 100%, locally domestic products, are the ones we encourage to be brought for that, fair.
It's a very vibrant city. It's a city on the move. It's a very dynamic city, and it's a city that is powered by a lot of enterprises and entrepreneurs. At least no smart person can be in Lagos and lack anything, because there are enormous opportunities.
While the government intensifies efforts to promote trade, the challenges confronting industrialization exist, challenges that are being addressed head-on.
It is the kind of environment that we create for investors that will determine the pace of growth and the size of the economy. Right now, the state is operating below its potential because the businesses are also grappling with a number of issues. In relative terms, it's still better in Lagos than in many parts of the country. But by the time the Lagos State comes on board with some of its initiatives in infrastructure, in power, and the rest of it, I'm sure that the frontiers will further move forward.
To complement this, the state's Light Up Lagos initiative has helped reduce the level of crime and boost the state's nightlife.
Right now, I'm aware that the Lagos State government is coming up with a big initiative to take the state out of the national grid and make it a bit more independent in terms of power supply, to guarantee 24 hours power supply. We have had discussions with the Lagos State Ministry of Energy on this, and I'm even aware that very soon there'll be a meeting with the regulatory agencies on power in Abuja, involving the stakeholders in Lagos State and the Lagos State government.
Access to land is another matter the government is addressing through its automated land administration system. To ensure it sets the right policies to boost trade and investment, the state government organizes the Lagos Corporate Assembly, where the public and private sectors meet to air their views on the business environment and ways to improve it.
Efforts to boost commerce and industry in Lagos State are numerous, from the informal to the formal business, from the small-time producer to the exporter. This mega city has got room for ideas to germinate, backed by the determination to succeed against all odds. What are you waiting for? There's room for you to be a part of this fast-growing city. I'm Onyi Sunday, and your destination is Lagos.